Okay, so these are next PPT is the recommendations from education commissions time to time, which I have just now summarized. And then next is that next I come next yes next I now come to as I have been saying since beginning, yoga cannot be understood without imbibing the values involved in, implicit in the yogic precepts and practices. Yoga is both theory and practice. Yoga is both theory and practice. And yes, and the practices of yoga, if they were to be mastered, we have to imbibe, we have to follow the what you call values embodied in it. Now take different aspects for understanding it. I have taken definitions of yoga are full of values. Now take for example, Yujir Yoga, the etymological meaning of yoga means first is yoking, joining, becoming one. It's very important. This yoking is a value, joining, becoming one. When we realize our projects, see, unfortunately, what has happened is, I am saying unfortunately, we have understood, our yogic literature has made us understand yoking means individual soul and absolute soul. But yoking need not be related with only yoking or joining of individual soul with absolute soul. When I realize my projects, when I happen to come with in relation with others, as a friend, as a wife, as a mother, as a father, my coming in relation with others must generate harmony and peace. So any relation is yoking, Yujiri Yoga. So yoga in its connotations is full of values. Okay. Similarly, samadhi, integration, this is also a value, and sanyama, and that also a control. See, look very interestingly, these three, what you call, these three are very important. Look at the wisdom of yoga. Look at the wisdom of yoga. What yoga has in its definitions is full of values. What it says is that, see, now union, what mankind wants is union. Unite with the ideals, unite with the reality, becoming one with the reality, yoging, becoming one. And that is what is the requirement. And also, and for that purpose, one must be controlled, sanyama, Yujir Yoga. One must have control. And then we have to integrate our energies. So, this is the message of yogic education to the mankind, that for the sake of realizing our projects, becoming one with our projects, materializing our projects, we have to, what you call, control ourselves, sanyama. So in its, what you call, in its etymological sense, three things are there: integration, control, and uniting. And these are the requirements of realization of the values. And these etymological meanings have also expanded through the next chart, and this is the range of the meaning of yoga. See, vast range is there. These three words are to be understood or have been understood. Yoking, fastening, harnessing, making ready, prepare, arrange, fit out, set out, use, empathy, apply, equip. All these are the different shades of the word yoga, and with full of values. That is, fix, in, insert, inbuild, build together, union, conjunction, endeavor. All these are full of value loaded terminology, and yoga has this vast meaning. Next, see, also there is yoking of a team, union, contact, combination. All these are the values. I mean, union means not only individual soul merging in the absolute soul, but our realizing of the project is our uniting with that project. It is in the vast sense, and for fitness, propriety, and mental concentration, and so on and so forth. So, this is etymological meaning. But even in the other texts, there are definitions of yoga. There are definitions of yoga, and those definitions are in terms of values. And these values are to be realized for the sake of well-being of mankind or one's own individual meaning. For example, Patanjali defines yoga as a modification of mental, cessation of the modifications. This is also a spiritual message is there. Vasishtha Samhita calls yoga is skillful trick to calm down the mind. Calming down the mind is also a value. What I want to say, I need not go to each and every definition. One general prescription is that every definition is full of value. So also, there is Bhagavad Gita, there yoga samatva uchyate. Yoga is a balanced state. Yoga is skill in action, healthy work ethos. The commission, education commission have recommended developing healthy work habits, healthy work ethos. And it is similar to Karma Yoga of Bhagavad Gita. Yes. It is similar to the Karma Yoga is similar to the recommendation. See how concurrence is there between the Karma Yoga and the development of healthy work ethos. And also yoga happens to destroy the misery, again a value. Now even in other texts also there are definitions, but then what I am going to before I stop, let me stop at this point that in Bhagavad Gita there is one definition, yoga samatva uchyate. Yoga is a balance. Okay, and what that balance is simply one translation of samatva, but it has different shades and very important from educating point of view, educational point of view. For leading peaceful life, contentful life, our life must be samatva. And what it means is that there is a vast, what you call, spectrum of samatva next. And that spectrum we will discuss. Welcome again. We start with where we left, and that is the theme. Again and again I repeat, even in the definitions of yoga there are values. Okay, and one of the very important definition is that yoga is a balance, and this balance is full of values, and it has many layers and kinds and types of values. See, for example, inner and outer balance. We must be same from outside and inside. Usually we do not. We are one inside and we are another outside. मुंह में राम बगल में छुरी. That is the thing. So there must be a balance between what we are and what we appear to be. There is again no balance in us. So that the yoga is a practice to bridge this gap between what we are and what we appear. We want to appear more smarter than what we are. That is yogically not a correct thing. This is the teaching of your value education on behalf of yoga. And also harmony between speech and action. I mean, this is nothing difficult, but it is difficult to practice. And then harmony between what we mean and what we say. And also there must be a harmony between our capacity and our wishes. Our wishes should not be more than our capacities. And that's the reason why one of the reasons for unhappiness is some kind of disbalance or lack of balance between our capacity and our wishes. And not only that, the samatva, look, it's not a simple looking word, but then unfortunately people do not go deep into that. The samatva also means one set of rules for others and another set of rules for others. See, there must be one and the same set of rules for ourselves and also for others. So that is also imbalanced state. And then balance between materialism and spiritualism. That is also a case of balance. And all these balance can be taught through balancing poses. We do not bring in these values, we do not integrate these values in our yogic education. We have to. We are not integrating these things. Simply we are teaching asanas from physical point of view, therapeutical point of view. But there is nothing wrong in that, but we mustn't reduce yoga to only physical balancing. So need of integration of these nicer values while teaching asanas makes the yogic education much more wider education. Then there is a generation gap. The present generation and the older generation, there is a gap, there is no balance. So look at the vast spectrum of meaning of balance. This is again balance between our attitude. Our balance should be there, bias-free attitude and prejudices. This is also, our attitude will be balanced when it is bias-free or prejudice-free. And what is meant by bias-free or prejudice-free? It is, see, without kleshas. In yogic terminology, bias-free attitude or prejudice-free attitude means free of kleshas. And to be within our limits, we should not cross our limits. That is also balancing. Coherence, consistency and matching and befitting. We must have the qualities. See, many times between our degree, certificate and our knowledge, there is no balance. We have certificate but no corresponding knowledge. So there must be coherence, consistency, and all these nicer values make man's life much more worth living. And concordance, balance between play and study. Students must balance their timetable and play between play and study. And the theory of Purushartha, which is Indian theory of value, also full of balance or samatva. This I wanted to say, that even the definitions of yoga are full of values, and hence because of this yoga becomes eligible method, beautiful method, what you call powerful method for realizing the values. But only thing is that we have to integrate these values in consonance with the definitions.